Hello and welcome everybody to First Friday Oracle Hour. So this is the modified version of Tarot Tuesday. I wanted to elevate it a little bit, make a few changes, make it available after most people work, from 9 to 5. And so this will be more accessible to more people. And then what I'm also doing in changing the way that I'm doing the readings is that I'm going to slow down. So, Tarot Tuesday, I always was so concerned with making sure that everybody got a reading. So, I was doing rapid fire. Well, this empath got a little burnt out doing that. And it's a lot of energy, just a lot of energy. I would just be pretty depleted after that. And plus, I don't think the quality of reading was to the place that I really want them to be. So I'm going to slow down and I'm going to go a little deeper with each of you with your readings, unless you just have a yes no question. So that could be pretty quick. And Spirit does respond really quickly. So they also could, the answers could come, when they come at their own pace and their own time. I'm going to be the one that slows down, right? So not to put that pressure on myself, it's a bit much. And then I'm also going to use uh, a multitude, yeah, that's the word, of different oracle cards, including tarot. So I love tarot for the basic messages that it gives, and it's good for clarifying as well. And then additional decks that I'm going to use tonight, and I'm just going to go where spirit moves me, unless you have a specific request, is the Animal Spirit Guide Oracle deck. And then I have, let me look at my little books here. The Wisdom of the Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. It's one of my favorites. An oldie but a goodie, Messages from the Angels from Doreen Virtue. Soul or Lessons and Soul Plans from Sonia Choquette. Another oldie but goodie. Love that one. And then I also mentioned the Spirit Animal Oracle from Colette Baron Reed as well. And so if the readings, if I want more information, I'll use the guidebook, but typically I don't. And so you'll get whatever comes up unless you make that very specific request. So make sure to chime your question in the text, and then we'll go from there. I already have a few questions that I've gathered earlier today from my members from my Enchanted Empath community. So they have priority. And if you would like to become a member of Enchanted Empath, we do all kinds of different things. I'll put the link in the chat. Some of the things that are coming up, I'm looking at my calendar. We're going to do a healing circle this Sunday. That's for everybody. We have a full moon gathering coming up, and then we have members only psychic school on the 19th, and then we have a new moon gathering. So I like to do a lot of gatherings. I like to keep it informal, and then I've also just added and I didn't add it to my calendar here, but it's a members only empath circle. Oh yeah, I do have it scheduled. It's on the 22nd of June. It's what did I call it? The the Sunday Brunch Club. So I was inspired by all my spiritual uh, things that I participate in on Sundays. It's like the holy day. I still have that tradition. So I thought it would be fun to do a sacred kind of circle with members where we talk about all things empath. We can review books, we can review movies, and just have a more informal, less educational type of gathering, right? Where we're not, psychic school is the how-to one. So check it out on my website. If it interests you, sign up. It's a small investment for a really big change in your life. So I hope you check it out. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Brenna. Brenna says, I love this idea. Yeah, I do too. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet with my community more. And I guess with less formality, where maybe I'm guiding it, but we're all in it together, and I'm not necessarily the teacher in this situation. We all are, and we're all learning and learning from each other. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with, oh, Debbie Phelps. Debbie says, love so much is coming up. Awesome. I'm glad you're here, Debbie. I'm really glad you're here. Cool. It's been quiet a little bit, right? So yeah, we're going to make some noise. We're going to do more gatherings, and specifically members only gatherings, so we can really, dive deep. Okay, let's go ahead and open up those questions, the initial ones that I have first. The first one is from Kathy Bray. So she is definitely a member, and she just asks, what does Spirit want me to know? Just tell me anything. What's on Spirit's mind? What does Spirit want to tell me? So let's go ahead and start this reading with a couple of tarot cards. And then we'll pull, I think, from the Soul Lesson deck for her on this one. Okay, so what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, so first of all, I get the Judgment card. For you specifically, I feel that it's makeover time. It's time to reinvent and do some new things to refresh your spirit, to maybe get you out of a funk. And then I also have the Five of Pentacles. So in no particular order, but the story tells me that you may have been a little trapped with some negative thinking and some impoverished thinking, I would call it, looking at the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is, a couple of people out there commiserating, feeling left out in the snow, just not good, but they're just a couple of feet away from the temple. They're a couple of feet away from where the answers are, right? And where refuge is, where shelter is, where the food is, where spirit is. And so this reinvention card is talking about, okay, maybe it's time to do some work about clearing this energy up, clearing up the past, putting those things to rest. And then as a result of that, when we do clean up our past and forgive the people who need to be forgiven, and do that work that is very, very holy work. It's good for your spirit. You can do the psychic cleanse in my website if that would help. And I'm actually putting that in a book format for people. Because doing that psychic cleanse and cleaning the consciousness and the heart space and all that stuff, purging that every year, I think is pretty important. But when we do the big initial one, it can be really big and messy. And I feel like this is what's going to be happening for you, so that we can get to a place of rebirth, regeneration, refresh, burying the dead, and just like whatever, what is done is done. The Serenity Prayer comes to mind for you, Kathy, too, where it says, God, grant me the wisdom to accept the things, no, to change the things I can. How does it go? To accept what I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? And then the last card in this is the healing card. So I see with what's happening here, Spirit is pulling on you, pulling your hair, getting your attention, wanting you to do this work so you can heal yourself. You can feel that refreshed version of yourself. So here's the hand of God saying, you've got this, you've got good health on the way, you have healing on the way. So, but we have to create the environment for the healing to happen, right? So that it can be sustained. It's kind of like, gardening, which I did today. Love to hang out in the garden. And if you're planting seeds in the garden, for example, or growing things, then the environment has to be right. The soil needs to be cleaned and fertilized and all that. Okay, Kathy. So one more card from the soul lessons and soul purpose for you. Just gonna fan and see what the okay. So we have the be patient card. So sounds like you're being a little hard on yourself and wanting to rush things through and maybe digging up those seeds and saying, "Where are you? You're not here yet. You're not here yet." So patience, grasshopper, patience, right? And that's a tall order for the current culture that we live in today, where everybody is in a rush. I'm going to make a shirt that says calm your you know what. I can't say it on YouTube. So, okay. I hope that resonates with you and it helps you, Kathy. Okay. So the next one is Kristen. And she says, my husband and I found an amazing house in Felton, California that we are touring this weekend. What would Spirit like us to know in regard to this house slash owning a house one day? Ooh, exciting. Okay. Okay. Let's correct the tarot. And Debbie, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat. And hopefully I'm seeing all the messages in the chat, by the way. Okay. All right, Kristen, Felton House and owning house. House ownership. What does Spirit have to say? Okay, we have the King of Swords, which is all about that mental clarity, keeping your eye on the prize, being in that manifesting place where you're seeing it, you're envisioning it, you're talking about it, you're writing it down. So there's a lot of that extreme mental clarity around the house. Yeah. So I'm feeling like this is future house. So I think I like it. Going to a house tour, checking it out, it's acting as if. It's a big part of the manifestation period or the process, right? So when we're trying things on, we're taking the tour, we're driving the cars, we're testing things out, and we're putting ourselves in that space, literally in that space. It's doing something to your chemistry. It's doing something to your vibration. It's changing everything, right? So then now, instead of it being a thought that's way out there, you're in it and you see the possibility and you see that, wow, okay, this could really happen. This could be our house. And then you start to imagine where you'd put your plants, where you'd put your kitty boxes, where you would put your furniture, where you would place your art on the walls. And as you're doing all these things, you are calling it in. You're casting a spell. You're put a prayer in motion. You are becoming a magnet to the thing that you want exactly. So not this house, but this house is going to help you really, really, really up your manifesting game and help you see it and clarify it. Then I also see that the Six of Pentacles is here and the Six of Wands. And also today is 6/6. So we're talking about the 6/6 portal, which talks about balance. And here we have the balance with the Pentacles. And this talks about the money coming for you that you need, for a future home. And this is kind of in the works right now. So perhaps you guys are saving, building your credit, all those things. But this message I hear specifically is saying that the resources are here for you. So don't even worry about that. When the timing is right, the resources are here for you. And then, Kristen, I get the Six of Wands for you, which is the success card. And that you have a lot of resources and people to rally around you and encourage you and support you in the house buying process. So I see it as a big go. And I love the fact that you're going on this tour. It will, it's a game changer. And for anybody wanting to manifest anything, I think it's really important that you do just that. You know, it makes it makes the thing that you're wanting more real and less imaginative, less of an idea and more of a reality, you know, and then that just really, really changes everything for you. All right, I want to use the wisdom of the oracle to see what other message spirit has for you. Oh, they're way down here. Maybe I should move the camera so you guys can see the cards a little better. Okay, is that any better? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, Kristen, house, home ownership, Felton. All right, Spirit, what do you have to say? Exactly. Building blocks. It's like you have a really solid foundation, you and your husband, you've been building, you're in the building process. So you have a very strong foundation, family support, financial well-being, all that stuff. So everything is in place. Now it's just a matter of time. The TikTok part is what I'm hearing. It's like, okay, so we've got everything in place. Now we're hardcore manifesting, and we know the location, we know all that stuff. And so then when the house hits you, then it'll just open the doors. Okay? So you got the building blocks to do all this. So everything looks very positive for that. All right. Next is, let's do Debbie. Oh, Kathy says, yes, thanks. You bet. Debbie asks, I just want to know what Spirit has to tell me. It's been a great few weeks and want to know if anything else is coming up. Well, I can guarantee you something else is coming up. So let's see what it might be, right? Okay. Always and forever, the never-ending story. Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards. All right. We have the 4 of Wands. Are you visiting somebody? I kind of feel like you're visiting somebody. So this card typically talks about hosting a party or celebrating a home, a partnership, but what I'm getting for you, Debbie, is that you're going to be visiting some friends and partying and having fun. So I'm feeling that this vibration is just a high vibration of celebration and good times with people that you care about and love. Then I also get the Ace of Wands. Maybe, since you're in a good mood, that just tells me that you're in a place of receptivity. That tells me that you are in a healthy place for inspiration to hit, right? So the downloads can come when we're feeling good and everything feels like it's working well. That's when we are able to really be receptive to the downloads, to the hits, to the guidance, to whatever term you want to use to describe the magical guidance of our angels and guides and our higher self and all the things that be, right? So then I also see the last one on this one is the King of Cups. So is there somebody new coming into your life, perhaps? So this card indicates relationship. It indicates emotional maturity. And I kind of feel like this isn't you, but I feel that, well, I mean, yeah, I do feel that it could be you, but I'm feeling that this is actually, for this reading, somebody else. So maybe somebody that you're visiting, so, whatever's happening in that arena, this person is maybe a match, or maybe you meet a match when you're out with your friends. Something's going on in this department, though, and I do feel connection, a romantic connection. Okay. So let's clarify or enhance with, I think I want to do the wisdom of the oracle on that one. What else do we have to say? Spirit, let's put a cherry on top of that one. Clarify more, please. Thank you. All right, exchanging gifts. So, exchanging gifts, it's all about that give and take, the reciprocity. I feel that when you're out and about and visiting and making these connections with your people, there's just a huge reciprocal exchange of energy. It really fills you up. It fills them up. It's a good boost for your spirit and the gifts that you have, the stories that you tell, the energy that you bring is healing to them as well. So I just see this nice exchange happening. All right. Okay, Debbie says, don't know who that is yet. Yeah, it was in the future card in the position, so we'll see. We'll see who that is. And then Jay, I see you, and yes, you can ask me a question. But first, I need to answer a couple of more questions from my members. So Brenna asks a very profound question that I think a lot of people have. The same issue. And I think whatever we hear from spirit is going to apply to a lot of people. So she says, I have a question for spirit. I've been struggling with body image for many years, and I'm curious what advice spirit has for me. Okay. Yeah, I know I can't think of one person that I've known especially in the female side, who have not had at one time or another in their lives body image issues. The first thing that comes to my mind or my heart, my intuition is that we are not this body. This body is definitely a vehicle to get us from point A to point B and to create and do things and to love. But it is just the vehicle. Your spirit is your essence, your life force that is going to go on forever and ever. I also feel that we choose our bodies before we get here, before we incarnate, for a lot of different reasons. The best vehicle so we can learn the biggest lessons in this incarnation. And those lessons can be messy. Those lessons often are quite messy, but revealing at the same time, right? Once we process through them. Okay, so let's talk about what spirit wants to tell us about body image issues. Okay, so I have justice, which talks about balance. I don't quite understand what this means just yet, so let me put it all together. We have the Three of Swords. So obviously this causes a lot of inner pain. It causes a lot of conflict, messes up your thinking. It kind of breaks your heart, comparing yourself to others, just not feeling completely adequate or loving yourself to the level that spirit does, and the potential that is there once we do. Pretty amazing stuff. And then I have the Two of Cups. So this is talking about partnership and the pressure that you put on yourself when it comes to being the perfect partner and having that perfectionism going on in the background. But I do know, and I can tell you for sure, and I've experienced it myself. I'm one of those people, my weight fluctuates all the time. And it's, blame it on hormones. I don't know. But So I've been in like my main serious relationship with my person for many years ago, and he would just always indicate, like, we'd look at pictures and I'm like, wow, I was really big then. And he just would say stuff like, I never even noticed. I never notice because I just love you so much, you know? So I guess what spirit is telling me about all of this is to know that you're kind of blocking your potential for relationships because of that, and to know that you are beautiful just the way you are, and your person isn't going to see that. And so it's almost like you're carrying this unnecessary baggage because the people who love you don't care. They don't see what you see. They have absolutely zero uh, input on that, you know? So you're putting a lot of this just on yourself that doesn't it's that it's illusion. It's not real, and it doesn't matter to the people who love you and to your future person, you know, your ideal mate, your ideal mate. I mean, my didn't really, and I knew when he said that he wasn't just being nice, he really meant it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, didn't notice." Because the people who matter don't mind. The people who mind don't matter. Dr. Seuss. Keep that in mind. But this goes a little deeper, you know. I do see this one fell out. It's the five. It's the Seven of Wands, and this is about that struggle. The struggle with self. And I would have to just want to say that this is one of those. I know that spirit can heal anything. And I know that this is a spiritual problem. I know that it's a really deep one, though. It's pretty deep, and I think that this is one of those situations where I think therapy or a group would be super helpful, so that you can see and hear the different situations that a lot of other people experience as well. Because here's the deal: I know you, and you're an empath, and if you heard, this would be so therapeutic. This is what's coming in. If you heard another person say out loud the things that you're thinking about your own self, and you heard them say those horrible things about themselves, you would be horrified. You'd be like, don't talk to your about yourself like that. Oh my God, you're just so beautiful, you know. And so maybe that would be beneficial to you to hear other people's stories, because I know that it would really work on your empathic heart. And then you would, because you couldn't stand it for another person. And then you would say, well, if I can't stand it for another person, then maybe I shouldn't be so mean to myself with that. Right. So, yeah, this is one of those universal issues. It stems from a very sick culture that we live in, and it's been running rampant on us for decades. Uh, so I'm really sorry that you are on the receiving end of that. Um, but I do know that spirit does heal anything and everything. You're not alone. And to practice kindness to yourself. So when you start to maybe, I have a toolkit, and one of my tools in my kit is that I shush myself, kind of like the dog whisperer when he goes, shh, you know, shh. When I hear myself criticize myself or other people, but myself typically, and I hear the self-criticism or the negative self-talk, I'll catch myself now and I go, shh, shh, you know, that's not nice. That's not nice. And our bodies can hear it, and our cells respond. And so when we have negative self-talk, it's one of the it affects us. It affects us on a material level. You know, it starts to demonstrate as disease, or just depression. It always manifests itself somehow physically. And to me, these are like the warning lights. Beep, 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 beep. Pay attention, pay attention. It's time to do something about this to help ourselves, right? And to use the tools, the resources, the healers, the helpers, so that we can get a nice grasp on this and not let it run the show, because these are big topics and they can run the show. Like they can dictate almost the outcome for a lot of different things, and it's a variable that is based in illusion. We don't want that, right? We want to clarify that. So I would say use your resources to get beyond that, to move through it, just move through it. When you get to the other side of it is a lot of self-love, tons and tons, right? So this one flew out of the deck. This is the angel messages from your angels, and it's Archangel Uriel. And the message is, your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind, right? So yeah, another good time for the psychic cleanse, to cleanse that stuff that keeps us small, that keeps us stuck, that keeps us in a place that is our own prison, not a fun place. Okay, well, I hope that helps. And I would love to do, a deeper reading with you on that if you would like that. So let me open up my email again. Okay. All right, let's hit the chat and see what's going on in there. All right, Jay. Debbie says, thanks. You're very welcome, Debbie. And then Amber is here. Okay, Jay says he's confused about something. Go ahead and type that. Let me know what you're confused about. And Amber says, hi, I'm Amber. I remember you, Amber. You used to come into Tarot Tuesday almost every time. Good to see you again, or good to feel your presence again. I met a guy at church. Do you see us getting together? Thank you, love and light. All right, let's check that out. Let's see, Amber and the church guy. Okay, Spirit. Are they going to connect? Okay, I need more clarification on this. Let's pull another one. Okay, I'm not feeling it, Amber. So I pulled a bunch of cards to tell me. But what's happening, though, is something that's even better that you aren't aware of, but you're going to be after you hear this. So I have the Tower, and then I got Temperance, and then I have the Fool. It just tell me a big story now that I'm tuned into it, right? Took me a minute because I wanted to just get a yes outcome. my little agenda was in a different place. Spirit's agenda, my agenda, I submit. It's like, all right, got it. I have to catch myself and switch gears. So the Tower talks about maybe relationships in the past, or things that were getting in your way of love and romance. Like I feel that you have done a lot of work, and the tower moment is that stuff that just gets rid of it, shakes things up, and usually they're pretty surprising, I would say, but they're necessary. It's like, so maybe you had something happen to where you had a realization, an awakening about love and romance, is what I'm hearing. I feel that, obviously you're moving into the arena where you're ready again. So maybe this last relationship kind of threw you for a loop, when it ended. But what it did was it got you back to basics about who you really are and what you really want and what you won't tolerate anymore and what you want moving forward. So, this painful moment in time, this process yields great rewards. And so people get all freaked out when they see the tower card, but it's like, it's necessary, it has to happen so that you can stop attracting the same old. Just, burn the bridge, burn it, and then we can get back to a foundation, a level that is more aligned with who we are in our heart and what we really want. So then I see you coming into this healing place that you've been in for a while, where you're really, doing that work. You're being more gentle with yourself. You're talking about how, okay, maybe that hurt and I don't have to, denounce or renounce. I'm making up words now. Love, that maybe I can, okay, maybe I'm ready. I've learned a lot. I can go ahead and play again. I can go ahead and imagine a love. I can create something that out of nothing that I thought that maybe was done for me, or that I was over, or fill in the blanks. So now you're going, okay, maybe I can have it all. Okay, I don't have to compartmentalize everything. My wounds are healing and healed, and now I can go ahead and manifest another relationship. And so the outcome card on this one is the Fool. The Fool, you've done a lot of work, and this Tower card really helped get you back to this place where you know that there's unlimited opportunities, that anything is possible, that you don't need to worry about what's happening so much in the next relationship in the future. It will unfold. So it feels like you've done a big damage dump, you know? And so instead of carrying around that that damaged good stuff from the past, you've released it. It's gone. And so now you're ready for a new adventure. And what I'm feeling from this person, so I don't know, I just need more clarification. I'm not getting a real clear indication that it's him, but what's happening is that it's you, you're ready. And I feel, I really do feel that he is this, like the symbol, the sign. I always talk about signs. And when we're on a healing process, or we're doing something, or we're manifesting something, then we start to see, we get signs here and there. And it's like, oh, potential partner. Oh, because now you can see that. You couldn't see it for a while. And so now you're seeing it again. You're seeing the potential and the excitement that comes with that. So let me just ask yes, no on this, because I'm not I'm not getting a clear thing on him, but I'm getting very clear info on you. Page of Pentacles. So I really don't get it. I don't think that he is ready for that. I feel that this journey and him being the symbol, the sign for you is what he is. The page is usually a messenger, or and I see them as being um, like freshmen in the situation. So let me pull another card from. Let's do Wisdom of the Oracle on this one. Yeah. So the good news is, Amber, that you're ready. And so when you're ready, that means you are a strong magnet and an attractor, right? And so if he's not somebody that you'll be dating, it's like, that's okay, because there will be more, right? Okay. Loyal heart. All right. This talks about your loyal heart. And it also shows two owls. So now I'm starting to sense that perhaps you will be dating him. I'm not sure, but I don't know if he's going to be Well, you know what? I'm just gonna zip my lip and just say, if you do date him, everything will unfold. You'll know right away if this is somebody that is in alignment for you or with you. And then I also hear the message from your loyal heart is that um, you don't want to miss an opportunity, and so you're always wanting to. Okay, where I can see where sometimes that could be good for you, sometimes that could be bad for you, where you're the good girl and you don't want to disappoint anybody. So check it out. Check it out. I don't have a lot of strong feelings about this person. I don't get negative ones, but I just don't get real strong connection with that one. But I am happy that you are ready to move on and that you've done some amazing healing work. It's very apparent. Okay. Alrighty. So Brenna says, thank you, Charlene. I will schedule one soon. That's awesome. Or, yeah, just do some research too, Brenna, and see if there's a group or something around you where you can talk with other people. Also, I think that would be super helpful. Okay. I think we're good. I didn't see any question come in from Jay. So I think I've answered everybody's questions. I did have one more that I thought if I have time, I'll answer. This is from Bonnie. And I know she asks, she says, my heart has been heavy lately, feeling worried about several parts of my life. Maybe I just need a general reading. I feel confused about my purpose. Okay. All right, let's do a general reading for Bonnie. And see what Spirit has to say about Bonnie's purpose. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Okay. Okay, so in the past, I get the Six of Wands, which talks about success, lots of success, lots of activity going on here. There's the parade. So a big part of me really feels that it's kind of like that empty nest feeling where you were once upon a time really busy and always humming and always feeling really good. And then we move into this period of our lives where things are a little bit different, a little slower, and then we don't know what to do necessarily with that. And so I get the Nine of Swords, which is that nightmare card where you're really thinking a lot, overthinking, thinking about, maybe the past or what is my purpose, and just feeling stuck in that mental loop of having, those unanswered questions. And it just causes a lot of stress. But the nice thing is you're doing it from the comfort of your home. So nobody's dying here. The swords just represent our thought process. And this card is just talking about, wow, you're really overthinking and stressing yourself out with whatever loop you have going on here. Again, with the self-talk, okay, all right, don't need to figure it out. I need to get 8 hours of sleep right now, right? And so redirect, because you have this may even sound worse, but you have all of eternity to figure it out. We don't have to figure it all out right now. And so this is like, I'm trying to figure it out. And it's like, okay, well, let's just get this one to Spirit and let's see what unfolds instead, right? And so the next card that I get is the Queen of Wands, and it's really talking about coming into your purpose, really enjoying it. Um, Looking around and seeing all of the things that you have already created, looking at your kingdom. And then this also really speaks to you're already here. You're already here. And it's saying, do what you want, do what lights you up, do what makes you happy, do the things that just feel good, um, and kind of forget the rest and all the shoulds and the coulds and the woulds and all the other stuff, all that chatter, all that self talk that is just not serving a high purpose right now. And remembering who you are. This is a big, okay, remember who you are and what you've already created. You're not done. There's a lot more to do. And now though, it's talking about going into the direction of doing, talking about purpose of only what you want, you know, and not doing the things that have expired for you or that you just no longer resonate with. And then the Queen of Wands is also very creative. So listen to those nudges that are calling you about the the things that are creative to you, and just continue to do those things. They don't have to be big giant things. They can just whatever feels good, like playing in my garden and planting new stuff. That feels good to me, that feels great to me. um and the little things, those little things, just be easier on yourself. I really feel like you're sensing or comparing or doing something to where you think that whatever the next thing for you should be like this big gigantic thing. And I'm hearing that it doesn't need to be a big gigantic thing. It can be really small things, slower things, easier things, you know. Again, with that rush mentality in our culture that's telling us to go faster, be skinnier, be richer, and do it now, and push an AI button and you can have it in your bank account tomorrow. It's like blah blah blah. Just do what you want. Oh, and then the soul lessons and soul purpose card is make better choices. Huh. Okay. Make those choices that align with your queen, your creative queen, the Queen of Wands. Only the things that align with you. So it sounds like you're doing things that go against your grain, and that's going to wear you down. That's not going to feel good. That's, again, putting other people's needs ahead of your own, doing the status quo, doing the things that are expected of you, being that good girl. The good girl era is over. We're done. And no, we're moving into this era where we do what we want. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, Jasmine is here. Jasmine says hello. If you have a question, Jasmine, go ahead and ask it. And then Amber says, thank you. And I have done a lot of work on myself and still working on me. It's a never ending job. Keep doing it, Amber, because new people and new situations will give you new things to learn about yourself for sure. Always opportunities to sharpen the saw, to improve and develop. But I really feel in the relationship department, you're like golden right now. So have fun. Have fun. All righty. I think that wraps it up for today. So again, no more Tarot Tuesdays, guys. So we're just going to be focusing on the first Friday Oracle hour, right? Where we pull cards from all over. We're doing longer extended readings, hanging out a little bit longer. And check out my calendar let me put the link up in there. on my events page for all of the upcoming gatherings uh, that are available to everybody most of the time. There's some members only stuff, but be a member, then you can join. And then there's also public ones that are available to everybody, like the moon gatherings that are coming up, the healing circles. Yeah, so check it out. And hopefully, we can build this really well. We are building this lovely community of soft souls, open hearts, calm in this crazy frenetic world right now. I think that this is so necessary. So thank you guys for being here with me, hanging out and sharing your stories, sharing your truths and being authentic and honest. It's not so easy to do in today's culture, right? So I appreciate you. I see you all, and lots of love to you guys. So go into the weekend and practice some really extreme loving care for yourself. Do something beautiful, do something nice, put yourself in those places that you want to see yourself, manifest on, and just have a good time. All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you next time. Take good care.